Hi everybody, and welcome to my YouTube channel where I review tech and I rant about things that doesn't make sense. I only review things that I've used for a while, not like small benchmarks and honeymoon of 3 days. So, I bought the Asus Zephyrus G16 2024 for almost 3,000 Canadian dollars. And somehow, it lost to a 2020 M1 MacBook Pro. Here's how. I was coming from an Asus Zephyrus G14, the 2022 model with full-on AMD. Great machine, I loved it. So when I saw the Zephyrus G60 2024 with the reimagined body, it felt like the obvious upgrade, right? Bigger OLED screen, better speakers, RTX 4070, premium redesign. Man, that felt like the dream. Since I'm only used to have an AMD CPU or AMD system, I was looking for the AMD version of the Zephyrus G16. But unfortunately for me, none was in stock. And it was just about the time that the RTX 50 series was going out, so inventory was very limited here in Canada. So I grabbed what was there, right? Because my laptop just died and I needed a laptop. I grabbed what was available. I grabbed the Intel and the Nvidia model for 2,699 Canadian dollars. So it was about $600 off. At that price, it felt like a steal. And at first, it was the greatest deal I had. Man, this thing is beautiful. I mean, the OLED display, fantastic. The speakers, MacBook Pro level good. The build quality, premium, aluminum. Keyboard, fantastic. The trackpad, even though it's not an haptic trackpad, was amazing. And the size was great. For the first couple weeks, I really enjoyed using this laptop. Everything was doing well for the slightly games I was playing. And the little task I was doing, I didn't configure it right at the start for everything I was preparing it for it to do, right? And the more and more I started using the machines, the more it showed its real face to me, if I could say that. It started to feel off. Everything I was doing started to feel not as premium as I thought. It started with my daily workflow, with my work and everything I have to do else. So, just to be clear, I am not rendering videos on it. I wasn't compiling code. I wasn't doing anything extreme with the machine except for light gaming at this point. My daily workflow looks like this. Edge, YouTube, multiple tabs, Discord open, Steam in the background, a second Edge profile for work with my Office 360, OneDrive, OneNote, Outlooks, light Excels, and a lot of PDFs. That's it. And yet, I started noticing system-wide stutters, input delay, UI lag, and random choppiness. So I tried everything I knew. I plugged it in instead of using on battery, no changes. I closed Steam, no changes. I closed any background app, no changes. I even did a fresh Windows install while debloating it, no changes. Meanwhile, the other laptop I have for work, which is a Lenovo ThinkBook with a Ryzen 5 5500U, handled everything except for the gaming part, smoothly without any stutters. That's when I knew something was wrong with my machine. So I did what every responsible nerd did. I went on Reddit. Someone suggested that it was thermal throttling. Now, that sounded crazy because this machine was brand new, a couple of months old. Why would a brand new machine, high-end laptop, throttle under light workloads? The suspected issue? Liquid metal. We all know that Asus use liquid metal on their CPUs and GPUs, not in this case, only the CPU. And we both know that Asus doesn't really apply liquid metal very well on these CPUs. So I replaced it with PTM 7950, which I'd used before in my G14. 2 hours it took me to replace only the CPU and remove every like bits of liquid metal, which is great. It's not that bad. And honestly, daily performances improved a lot. The stutters mostly disappeared. It finally behaved like a premium laptop for office tasks, which I was supposed to have at the start, right? But when I started to get into serious gaming, that's where everything fell apart. So here's the setup and the specs of the laptop. I have the G16 2024 with the Intel Core Ultra 9 185H. I got the RTX 4070 with 8 gigs of VRAM. I got a 34-inch 1440p ultra-wide monitor. The machine has 16 gigs of RAM. So it's supposed to go well, right? Let's talk about the game that I played the most. World of Warcraft Retail. I don't know, I don't play Classic, please don't judge me. And I noticed that in the city I was having between, the main city at this point, I was having between 15 to 20 FPS, which was pretty normal for me because my G14 was doing the same thing. But when I was going to the Mythic Plus dungeons, which is a 5-man content, I had only 50 FPS, which is crazy for a machine of this price point, right? And in Raid, I never went above 30, and that's when I had 30 FPS, because I was rating at 15 to 20 to 30 to even 5 FPS sometimes, which is very bad. And the temps were going into the 96 degrees, even with the PTM 7950. So I lowered the resolution to 1080p, no differences. I lowered the graphics, no differences. Well, WoW is a very CPU-bound game, so the RTX 4070 didn't really matter in that case. So I went back to do some research. Everybody was telling me to disable the CPU boost because it was at aggressive type. And when I disabled it, yes, of course, my temps dropped to 68 degrees Celsius in average. But the performances also dropped a lot. So I either had the choice to have a 2010 experience computer like power or a cooking station at 95 degrees. That was not acceptable for a $3,000 laptop. And now it's the crazy part. I noticed that World of Warcraft had a native version for macOS. And I had a 2020 M1 MacBook Pro with 16 gigs of RAM and 256 SSD. So I tried it. I installed it on my Mac, and I was mind blown. I was having between 30 to 45 FPS in the main city. I was having 55 to 70 FPS in average in Mythic Plus dungeons. And I had a solid locked 50 FPS in Raid. And the temps never went above 80 degrees, and the fans were practically silent. I could hear them a little bit, but not so much. Is my premium gaming laptop was losing to a 4-year-old MacBook at this point? That's when I knew Windows wasn't just being Windows, and Intel wasn't the culprit. Asus wasn't the culprit. Something was wrong with my machine. I did everything I could. I sent it to Asus. Nobody noticed anything. I sent it to the IT stores here in my city. Nobody said anything was wrong. And nothing was wrong with the machine. All the parts, no defects. It was just a bad computer for gaming and doing basic tasks at $3,000. But it's totally normal, right? The good point is the battery life wasn't so bad. Like with the DGPU disabled via G-Helper, I could get between 6 to 7 hours, which is very great. My M1 lasts like 9 hours plus, which is normal, it's 13-inch. But the real difference is that my MacBook never stuttered doing basic tasks. It never hesitated, it never felt unstable, it never lagged during office works. Even with Microsoft apps, my MacBook was doing better than my brand new premium machine. So I was looking for a culprit. Who was I to blame? Was I to blame Asus? Was I to blame Intel because of the famous Intel stutter? Was it at the bad thermal design? Is it the tuning? I can't say for sure. What I can say is this. Out of all the machines I own, the only one that struggled was the Zephyrus G16 2024, who also happened to be the only one with the Intel CPU. My Ryzen laptop felt smooth. My Apple Silicon felt very smooth. And neither of them required me to repaste them inside of the machine, right? A premium laptop should not require repasting, disabling turbo boost, hours of Reddit diagnostics. It should just work right out of the box. I am lucky to be very tech savvy and being able to open up the laptop and repasting it. But who could say the same thing? Who can say I could just open up the laptop, unmount the old CPU cooler, deal with the liquid metal and everything? Not everybody can do that, and not everybody has to do that. When you buy a premium machine like this, it's supposed to work out of the box. You're not supposed to be struggling and being tech savvy to use it. It's not normal. And after months of troubleshooting, trying everything, talking with everybody I could on Reddit and everything, I sold it. I couldn't keep it. I couldn't even game on the thing. Instead, I bought a MacBook Pro 16 inches with an M4 Pro chip. I'm using Crossover for most of the games I could try with it. I'm playing Fragpunk this time, and it works very great. And now, in World of Warcraft, I'm having 45 to 60 FPS in the main city. I'm having 100 FPS plus in Mythic Dungeons. And in Raid, I am at a lock-in 80 FPS. No thermal throttle, no stutters, no lag. I don't even hear the fans on this one. So for now, I'm sticking with my Apple Silicon and my AMD CPUs and GPUs. And eventually, I will build myself back at AMD full-on desktop. Yeah, and when I say AMD, I say full-on, even the GPU. As for the Asus Zephyrus G16 2024 Intel model, beautiful machine. Great hardware on paper. Deeply disappointing execution on Asus. So that's it for me, and thank you to have listened to my rant. And please leave a like and leave a comment and subscribe. It really means a lot to me. I'm just starting out, so thank you very much and have a wonderful day.